Right there.
As this pass is serial number 54.
Right there. Wow. If you're watching in HD on the stream,
you can read that.
You can read that. Or if you're watching on a wireless in a Starbucks or something like that, it's just sort of a gray blur on 240p, but it says 54.
It's not a stray pixel. It is the numbers 5 and 4.
And again, I mean, going really boldly for this early expand. Now, on this map, I do like this quite a bit. It's a 4-player map, but of course, Hero with Spider Sense tracks down his opponent instantly. But what I'm worried about from a Terran point of view is that these bases have a lot of entrances to them that are wide. It's difficult to supply depot wall off. Counterattack pylons can easily go up on the top, up in the other main ridges over here. Even at the far left side of the map, it's way out of the way for a Terran player to deal with that.
It's also a very long distance to push, and anytime you have to go all the way across, even in these positions which are relatively close, I guess, in relations to the map itself, it's a long way to go, and that gives so much strength to warp in. Of course, protocols is
more important. Or it's going to play an even more important role on this map. I mean, in Hero's shoes, it's a difficult question. Do you expand towards the opponent or away? If you start expanding here and then you cut up to this location, seems very weird, but it allows for a nice angle of entry into the Terran player. Generally, we'll see players not even go for this right expansion. Hero is more often than not taking this bottom expansion, trying to rely on this high ground ridge and this high ground ridge in order to control these bases. But kind of interesting early zealot out of Hero, given that he's not done this in any of his previous games.
Yeah, maybe he wants to walk across the map and get another scout with it, something that can be a little bit hard at this phase of the game. Other than that, Hero's opening's looking pretty similar, with the relatively fast Nexus and the emphasis on chrono boosting workers.
Steps right on in. It'll be a probe versus SCV battle. I have my money on the probe.
He does have a taser.
And give me my money, Ben. I was betting with you, by the way.
I said we call it a draw.
Seems fair enough. Third barracks going down. I mean, Polt is just really confident in this opening.
Yeah, I mean, he keeps going back to it. In spite of the fact that Hero's kind of managed to come out ahead in most of the games that we've seen. And I wonder, I really wonder what Polt is thinking if he's just not going to change. He's like, well, I tried this and it didn't work. I'm going to try it again and it didn't work. And then Cloud Kingdom, I got a little bit lucky. And then we go back to Daybreak and once more it doesn't really work. I kind of wonder if it's to his detriment.
Well, I mean, he's really showing why it's so strong, why he's able to get away with so much. Again, the bunker is one of the critical pieces to an early opening. But before bunker, he's going command center, third barracks, and double gas. Very, very brave, but very smart given what he's scouting out. Now he's going to be checking all the way down here because this third base is going to be the critical deciding factor for whether we're going to have to see Polt push, whether he's going to stay defensive. I'm actually thinking that he's not going to go for fast double barracks this time. He just loves attacking so much. Why not just devote everything to that?
It's a big risk to make there, Sean, as this is the end of the road for Polt if he loses after 9 weeks of play. This could potentially be his last map in the North American Star League, at least on his quest for the championship. Of course, the loser of this match will go on to play in the third-place match tomorrow, so it doesn't mean it's the last we'll see of him, but it does mean no $30,000 first-place prize.
It's always a little bittersweet winning the third-place match, but Polt still, you just can't think about that at this point. And that's one thing that I was so worried about when Polt ended up losing to that 4-gate on Entombed Valley. You just go into what-if mode.
Nice scan, catches the Observer before I think the Observer spotted that Polt has once more opted for that double eBay.
This is a much nicer position to do some drop aggression on because, again, it's so wide out and spread open. It's very difficult to force field and cut off, and even in this area that has this little valley, this little crevice in the middle. But the third base, if you can start applying pressure, even from this easily retreatable left angle, drops up at this north side. You can pick off this pylon, and then later on pull down and swing into the main. Polt, no doubt, going to be making use of that very vulnerable right side taking this third base. And likewise, from Hero's point of view, what Hero needs to do is just stay defensive and continue building pylons up along the top ridge and just get a lot of observers, de-emphasize robo units, because you just have so many angles you need to worry about. It's all about vision range.
Hero's really shifted gears here, Sean. He's not getting any upgrades, and a Twilight Council's already finished. So slightly different here on Whirlwind.
Going for the 5-gate play. 5-gate Immortal. Really like this. It's a good defense, but this is the problem. Already we're seeing Polt. And
a couple
Polt
of buddies
his
down
best
here.
friend, yeah, just sort of hanging out. They're a little
Wherefore
coy.
art thou, my SCV buddy? Starcraft lovers.
Now it looks like he'll be taken out.
I told you not to see him anymore.
Well, just get back to work, little probe. I like this. Hero just continuing. And this Marine, I mean, actually a supply depot really should go down right here. Something static, not part of his army, that can just continually spot this sort of counterplay.
Charge is about to finish up for Hero, and Templar Archives is done as well, so we are going to see him transitioning into that heavy emphasis on charge lots, Archons, and High Templar. Warp Prism's also about to pop, Sean, so we're going to see some of that action that I know you love so much.
Just such an awesome play. From Polt's point of view, though, the way that your Marine Marauder army functions when you've gone for this ridiculously early double upgrades, it's completely opposite the way your typical 10-minute timing push goes. Normally you're trying to attack, you're pushing the Protoss player back, you're on the verge of winning with that push, and it's all up to the Protoss defense. But in this circumstance, this is a very defensive army. Everything Polt's going to be doing is just trying to buy more and more and more and more time. Right now, we still see, what is it, just 5 barracks up? These barracks are the real critical piece to the aggression puzzle. So that is when Polt can actually begin being aggressive.
He's also delayed his army for a really long time. His upgrades basically stalling out for 3 or 4 minutes here. Protoss is already going to be finishing up 2-2 as Terran starts 2-2. So it's going to mean that Hero has a huge window of advantage in terms of those upgrades. Polt is out on the map with a lot of units right now, enjoying a pretty big supply lead. 76 army supply to just 50.
Oh my god, Hero actually has no idea that this push is coming. Oh, what happened to Hero's vision control? Too many observers have been sniped by Polt. He's just going to get an easy pickoff at this 4th base.
This Nexus will fall, but what about this army? Can it actually get out of here? He does have medevacs. He is going to load up with a feed. Don't have to worry. Polt picks off the Nexus and gets out of there. 400 mineral donation.
But again, it's a defensive army. There's really not that many units right now for Polt, and even if you look at the army supply, this is kind of deceptively large at this point in time, because a few storms are going to turn the tides quite swiftly given the Marine count, and the army from Polt is split up. This factory is now seeing that suddenly Polt is in a huge threatening position.
That's right. Here's pushing forward with 130 supply. His army is pretty scary. Upgrades are great. 6 High Templar out and a lot of charge lots. What is Polt going to do? Looks like he's just going to unload these medevacs and maybe try to cancel this 3rd base again.
I mean, Polt really just has to use this as a distractionary force. We're seeing Hero already have these High Templar up. Do they have enough energy for Storm? Not quite yet. Now they have enough for Storm. This is going to go very poorly for Polt.
Storm's going down at the same time. Hero being already lost a couple of Stalkers, so that's going to be a little bit costly. The expansion, though, looks like it's going to be saved. And it's hard for me to say who really comes out on top there. I think maybe Hero if he's going to get his Nexus up.
Well, it looks like we are seeing Polt have a nice defense here. Excellent little defensive setup, but starting to be action on all angles of the map. Medevac's going to rejoin that other army. 3 storms in full up in these Templar. 4th storm at that natural expansion.
And a huge warp in up in the top half of the map, so the Zealot aggression is coming. Not sure if there's enough Zealots. Oh, he's going to actually try to flank this army.
Continual excellent kiting by Polt, who has the supply lead, but it's all mid-tier units, and he's up against Immortals, Templar, a lot of the high-tech Protoss units. Oh, an amazing storm on those medevacs.
Yeah, medevac's taking a huge amount of damage, and there's a nice storm on the bio, and the Archon's going to be morphed. Will that Archon actually live? I guess not, as it does get shut down, but these Marauders are all in big trouble. Hot pickup there as these medevacs pick up a few of them. Interesting exchange there. Sentries. Whoop! 1 medevac goes down.
Things are starting to calm down a little bit after this really tense series of battles, but Polt doesn't want that. He wants to continue to batter down the front door because right now he is at 2-2, and it's still a little ways before the Protoss player gets 2-2. Generally, the Protoss player will be just a smidge ahead of the Terran. Excellent pick off there as well. I mean, Polt's really starting to regain his composure here. He's starting to do his classic expand. He's even getting up a 5th command center. He hasn't even begun Vikings or Ghost. Does he even have a Ghost Academy? No.
Polt's really playing this well. Sean, he's up to 105 army supply against just 60. As you said, his 3-3's on the way. 3-3 for Protoss, about 3/4 of the way done. Robotics Bay's also gone down, so we're going to start seeing Hero transition over into Colossi. It's a very powerful tech switch late game, but he's kind of behind. He's kind of on the back foot, and Polt's just continuing to expand so aggressively.
I mean, you ordinarily, if you're going for this sort of Templar tech early, you're expecting to easily deflect all this aggression. This transition to Colossus is quite late. Another nice storm from Hero, helping him to stay on defensively, but the unit, just the line of blue, keeps going farther and farther back.
Yeah, great defensive storms there by Hero, again pushing Polt back, and he's going to try to swing around and catch this army. It's a trap. Here comes Hero. No. Swinging down from every angle. Polt needs to get out of there.
I don't know who's surrounding who in this circumstance. Zealous sweeping in. Are there any feedbacks? He does manage to get one, but Polt will just swing into the natural expansion instantly where more storms await him.
This is a nice attack down into the natural. Not many units there. Great storms go down, doing a lot of damage to the Marauders and the Marines, but there's nothing there to really clean it up. Warp Prism falls.
Oh, storming his own Zealots a little more than Polt's units.
Finally, the reinforcements have arrived. Zealot's going to swing down. But that's a great position for Polt. He's going to do a lot of damage, and Polt doing just a great job exercising his advantage at the same time. Again, trying to attack on the left side of the map, but Zealot's all over that one.
Rarely is Polt not attacking 2 locations at once. Amazingly, Hero found enough funds and enough defense to expand in the midst of all that. Planetary Fortress, this is a really painful reveal for Hero. He now realizes that he's going to not be able to do a lot of damage with small counterattacks. He's going to need to commit or wait for Stormers. Polt is looking to be in an excellent position, but he needs to start getting Ghosts. He needs to start getting, okay, he's doing that. This is great, man.
Polt's making all the right transitions. Sean, Colossi are already out. Polt's going to need to start making Vikings as well, because I think Hero's going to really commit to this Colossus deck at this point in the game. 3-3 is about to finish up for our Terran player, and I love this army supply lead that he has right now. It's a great engagement. Immediately, Hero tries to retreat. Storms do go down, but Polt's just going to attack right through. He has so many units. Ooh, does he want to commit to that ramp? It looks like no. He's going to swing over to the 3rd base and the 4th base. Excellent multi-pronged aggression here from Polt.
And he's just going to snipe this Nexus and then continue on leftward, and he gets it. Can he manage to get out? He's cornering himself again. Are there any feedbacks?
Oh, Billy, no! The Marauder dies, but the Medivacs will push on. 4th expansion might go down as well with... Oh, no, he's not going to commit to that. He's a little bit afraid.
Is there blink yet? And Polt find this awkward position where being all the way down in this bottom left is difficult, because we're seeing the Protoss has an easier time uniting his forces, while Polt is having a very, very difficult time having anything but 2-pronged attacks.
There's just so much room to maneuver the dropships. Polt's going to unload, heal everything, and look at this huge push coming down the right side of the map. Hero is going to have to commit his entire army to defending this, and when he does, Polt is just going to attack again.
And this is another really clever play from Polt. He's starting to build more and more orbital commands, so that way he can replace SCV supply with free mules and more units, and now Hero's going to have the defensive difficulty of the year.
Oh, just a brutal 2-pronged attack coming. Marines, Marauders, and Medivacs. Vikings in tow as well on the right side of the map. The huge dropping force on the left side of the map is just going to eat the storms, and once more, Polt will kill in a completely exposed expansion. Hero. Oh, great storms by Hero. Huge storms doing incredible amounts of damage. Can he maybe... Oh, I think he will hold this attack, but it doesn't matter. GG gets called. And just like that,